Hey guys, it's Rick Ginn today, and I'm going to walk you through how I can actually work 10 hours or less a week on my multi-million dollar wholesaling business. And I'm going to show you the blueprint so you can do it because my goal is to give you hope, light at the end of the tunnel. Because I remember when I first started wholesaling, actually for 7 years, I put my head down and I really didn't come up for air. And let's be honest, guys, the idea we get in wholesaling is truly to get not only financial freedom, but freedom of your time. And who wants to work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week for the rest of your life? Now, I know a lot of you guys are doing that right now. And I'm here to tell you, it won't be like that forever. But that is not a permission slip to take your foot off the gas and not make this business work. So what I want to do is go through the stages today and show you easily how I took working 60, 70, almost 80 hours a week and I converted. Now, it took me longer than the average person. You got to understand, when I started wholesaling, there wasn't as much information on how to scale your business, how to hire employees, and how to train and motivate them. So I want to show you the lessons I learned and show you where you are in your current progression of wholesaling. And I'm going to show you how to get out of each of these stages, because nobody surely taught me this. And by the time I learned it, I already had to go through the hard school and knock. So if anyone knows it better than me, they can come along with the ride. So if you're just getting started, this will apply to you. If you are just getting back in the wholesaling, just apply for you. And if you've done 100 deals, this will definitely apply to you. So I want you to understand it. So we have two ways you can connect with us. Number one, use the comments, introduce yourself, make a friend out there. We only talk about wholesaling here. We don't talk about all the other stuff because it's what I'm best at and it's what I do. And I tell you what's going on in today's market. Number two, I will put a link on here if you want to join me on a mastermind, if you want to talk about a deal. I think we did 3 deals last week. We did with JVs with you. We really appreciate it. One of the deals is absolutely smoking, which was great. And the other two my partner will walk away with a significant amount of money. So if you want to submit a deal, sellmypaper.com. But if you want to get on here and talk on a mastermind, I'm going to go ahead. Where is it? And in a moment, I will post that in the comments. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And my final disclosure, if you're new here, make sure you check us out at freewholesaling.com. This is where we have the expanded 40 hours of detailed training on all 3 phases of wholesaling and show you how to not only start to get your first deal, but how to get you your first $100,000 deal. And here's the good news for once. For once, someone's just going to give it to you. Here you go. Here's the course. I'm just going to hand it to you. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to David Goggins you, because either you run and you take it as a gift and you fully immerse yourself in it, or you take it as, I'll check it out. If you're going to check it out, don't even bother doing it, because you're going to have to put in the work. So put it up there. If you're new, make sure you go over to freewholesaling.com and check us out over there. So let's talk about this. So I got a lot to get through. So the first thing you have to do with wholesaling, no matter if you've done 100 deals or you've done 0, you've done 100, obviously, you got to do your first deal. So many of you are trying to plan for your 30th, 50th, 100th deal. I met with someone the other day that wanted to know how to scale their entire business, but they haven't done their first deal. And I'm going to tell you, you got to get that first deal done. You got to get that monkey off your back. And some people think it's the hardest. I think the second and third are actually harder, because the first one, you're so excited and it's new and you're motivated. The second and third is real work, because you got to do the same thing you do with the first, and you're not exactly sure how to do it. And you have to do things that make you wildly uncomfortable. But regardless, we have to start with deal 1. If you try to start any other place, you don't understand this business. Number one, I got to see if you're actually going to do the work you say you're going to do. See, most people say what they're going to do, but very few people actually do the actions. And honestly, that's the big divide in wholesaling. Everybody loves the money. Everybody loves the glitz and the glory that goes with it, but few are going to roll up their sleeves and actually do this business. And that's why we created freewholesaling.com, because if I can find the ones that want to run and want to win, that's what we need to do. But you got to start with the first deal. And then once you get your first deal, your first sign that you're growing as a wholesaler, drum roll please, is you get the deal 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Statistically proven, if you get 5 deals done in wholesaling under your own direction, working government list off the techniques we teach you at freewholesaling.com, guess what? You are prepared to actually run a wholesale business. You see, deal 1, some of you guys treat this like it's a hobby. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. That's funny. And if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to my old job. Those people rarely make it. Period. End of story. Now you get to maybe deal 1, 2, and 3. Those people convert to what I call a full-time wholesaler, and it's a job to them. You treat it just like you do your job. You kind of show up. You're getting more traction than the person that did 1, but you're still not quite sure of it. And that's not bad. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. So we all start with a spark, an interest. Then hopefully we get a deal. Sometimes we don't even know how we got it. I don't even know how I got my first deal under contract. It just seemed, I had no idea what I was doing. I just stayed in the race. I found people that were motivated to sell their property. And then it happened again, and it happened again. And when it happens 5 times, it's not luck. It's not a coincidence. It shows you have the grit, the tenacity, the hustle, the grind to survive in wholesaling. And here's the really cool part. If you do it without spending a fortune on a coach, guys, dropping 5, 7, 10 grand on a wholesale coach, what do you think you're going to get more than you're going to get in freewholesaling.com? I get it. If I was offering a coaching program, I would be very upset with me and Zach too. But people can either adapt or they can die. They've got to make the choice. I've already made my choice. I do things completely different than everybody else because the wholesaling industry needs a massive change. And sitting there charging for information that's already out on the internet is ridiculous. And if you don't think I have experience to do this, I got over 23 years under belt. My son has 9. You can't get a better combo on that. Plus, we do this locally and we do it virtually. So it's the best mix of everything you can do. But you got to go out there and you got to cut your teeth. So grind and get the 5. Why? Because it shows you got the moxie to really make it in this business. And if you understand that, I can teach you anything in wholesaling. You see, the person that can't get past 1 deal, they're so stuck in their mindset. They're so working off their old DNA blueprint that I can't do that. That's not me. If you tell yourself that, you're going to be stuck in it. But you give me someone that does deal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they've obviously made a significant change in their life. They're listening to instructions and they're willing to make themselves uncomfortable. And once you do that, then you can gear up. Here's the problem in wholesaling. You guys gear up by paying 5, 7, 10 grand for a coach. Then they tell you to go buy $10,000 in marketing, and you've got to get this software, and you got to get this last stacking tool. You got to get this CRM. You got to get this skip tracer. You got to get this Dispo software. And you're like, man, I'm like 20, 25 grand in the hole. And if we know there's a very high failure ratio, why don't you do just like the billionaires do on Shark Tank? And what do? Only the people that can prove their theory through sales, getting deals inked, those are the ones that they want to partner up and show them how to scale their business. Why am I going to do anything different? If you're going to go hire a coach, you're going to pay high-end marketing avenues. And it's not that the paid marketing doesn't work. It's the problem is you don't know how to work them. And so it's a recipe for disaster to go 20, 30 grand in the hole and you haven't even done a deal yet. And every guru will tell you the same thing. Do whatever you got to do. Max out your credit cards, max out your parents' credit card. It's a bit of a biased information. And if you wouldn't do that for any other source, why would you do it in wholesaling? So we have to understand before you divulge your family fortune. Some of you only have 5 or 10 grand to stand on it. Why would you start so deep in the hole? What if I can save you that 20 grand? Go to freewholesaling.com. I'll show you how to do it. And here's the best part is I'll bring more experience, more knowledge, and more expertise in wholesaling than most people could ever teach you. And here's the caveat. I'm not charging you anything. So treat it as a gift and run with it and just fully embrace it. And if you don't, then you don't. It is what it is. But that's how I would start out doing it. So let's see here. Okay, I'm looking at all the comments on here. Awesome. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let me let's see here. Where was that comment? Got it. Okay. So now that we know that, we grind to get our first 5. Now, once we do that, all the gloves are off. Now you're going to go from hobby to full-time job to running a business. That's it. Because a hobby, people just kind of dabble in it. Full-time, you kind of work like an employee, and it's okay in the beginning to do that. But now you got to turn it into a business. And now I'm going to go through each of the cycles and show you how to progress through this so you can have the best chance possible. Because for 7 years, I could not see this blueprint. And to be honest with you, I was so knee deep in my operations doing every job. I didn't know how to get out of it. And I had some people help me out from another business to show me how to do it. And so here's what we need. The 4 things you need to get $1 million wholesale business. So we're going to start with the personnel first. And then we're going to break it down to the tools. You got to simplify this. So identify which stage you are in this, because this is how you progress and you scale any wholesale business. So in the beginning, dude, it's just you. I'm an absolute expert on this because for 7 years, I was just me. I was marketing. I was acquisitions. I was dispositions. I was the finance department. I was the sales team. I was the human resources. Let me know in the comments if you ever feel like this. I was the legal team. And I came from a corporate job where we had departments that handled all these things for me. And so this is where I always tell you guys to be resourceful in wholesaling, because you are the departments. Now, in the beginning, you have to start out here, and I'm going to be honest with you, it seems a bit overwhelming. It's exhausting. There's no other word for it. I stayed in this too long, and I want you to learn from my mistakes. But the gift I got out of it staying in it too long is I understand the operations and how to connect with motivated sellers. Remember, most people who got good at wholesaling only did it from 2013 to like 2021, 2022. I've been doing it since 2003. I've seen every type of swing you can see. And I understand wholesaling like the back of my hand. I just get it. I make money in all cycles. Don't let anyone tells you, well, I'm going to get back in wholesaling because it seems better, means they suck at wholesaling. Wholesaling, you make money in all phases. People want certainty. They have distressed property. They're motivated. They want to get it sold. We are providing an service in exchange for speed and convenience. That's all we're doing. Oh, the market's good. Let me do wholesaling. Oh, the market's bad. I'm going to get out of wholesaling. Avoid those people like the plague because they're nothing more than speculators. It's okay to speculate if you have the money for it. But if you confuse speculation and wholesaling, you're not even close to wholesaling. So if we understand that, you're in the just you phase. Everybody, one of us has started in this phase, and I'm still in it. I'm still a big part of my business, but it's not just me anymore. In fact, it's a lot less me and a lot more of the other things I'm going to walk through. Now, phase 2, when you go up to scale your business, phase 2 is going to be software. Now, you know, me and Zach own X Leads, and we have the incredible 3.0 release coming out this Thursday. I can't even, the stuff that's coming out here, just get rid of all your other softwares because you literally, like, this is going to blow you away. Not only do you get the best value, you'll get the best customer service. You'll have the absolute most tools available to you for one tiny low price. And I can't tell you if the price has changed because I've signed agreements. I'm just telling you, take advantage of what we have right now, because last time I said it, you guys thought I was kidding. Me and Zach do exactly what we say we're going to do. I do not sit here and hype and mislead, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a tool that will bring you so much value. You're going to question. Some of you guys have just go high level and you pay $97, you could get a basic X Leads account and get everything with that, like almost everything. I mean, so if you're doing a CRM separately, you're paying. If you're using somebody else and you have a CRM and they have all these specials, I'm just telling you, go high level is the best one. But I'm telling you, the next step is software. Why? Because for $97, you can get a tool. The question is, are you getting the best value for what you're doing? Now, when you start out, it's not required. You got more tools now between all the comps online and all the repair estimates. And if you go to our school group, freewholesaling.com, we have a ton of tools in there. We have a ton of AI, and you can get by. In fact, I'm going to tell you, until you get a deal or two, I wouldn't even buy the software. I don't want you wasting your money. I don't want you going in and out. I want you to win. Remember, I'm a marathon wholesaler, so I have to watch you progress and learn. So many coaches and mentors want to make money off you the day one. I'm patient, man. I believe in you. Would I take money from a baby? Why am I going to take it from a new wholesaler? You guys are all marked as new wholesalers. Like, you are the most desired product in the industry. I know that. I listen to all the webinars and everything they talk. Me and Zach basically aren't allowed in them. Not that we'd ever want to be in it. I just find it, we only listen to you guys. We don't listen to coaches. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm friends with a lot of coaches out there. People think I've made enemies with them. I haven't. I just do things differently. It's just like if you're a Democrat and Republican. It's like, if you're not on my side, I hate you. That's ridiculous. People are people. I'm not talking politics. We're not going to get into that. But I'm here to tell you, there has to be a change in the guard on how we teach wholesaling. And we got to stop just taking all the money from the newbies right off the bat with a 90% plus failure ratio. So I take the long approach. So when we talk about software, are you getting the best value for your deal? You better make sure, if you're pulling one dime out of your pocket, you're getting your skip trace covered, all your list pulled. You can pull any marketing list. You can take your government list and put them inside and skip trace them and make it work. I'm just telling you, you got to count all your nickels, because when I did this, it was all a la carte. It was really expensive. The tools now are absolutely amazing. Use X Leads. You can use any of the ones out there. But eventually, step number 2 is you add a software. Now, step number 3, you know what the next one's going to be, right? The next one is going to be adding AI. Now, artificial intelligence, if you just fell off the turnip truck. But the reality is, now you have software, and then you add AI. Now, why I recommend X Leads, because it is basically founded on integrating software with AI to maximize your effectiveness as a wholesaler, especially when it's just you. So remember, we started out, it's just me. Okay, I got software. Now I can pull lists faster. I can skip trace. I can do quick filter list. And then I can do email campaigns instantly. I can do texting campaigns. I can do just about anything. And now I can use AI to help filter my SMS text. You can also do any type of inbound marketing with it. And you got to have a system of follow-up. Guys, I loved Podio for a long time. Podio does not even hold a candle to go high level. Can you use Podio? Yes. Actually, in the beginning, you don't even need a CRM. But once you get robust and once you want to run a business in wholesaling, you're going to be throwing money away if you don't have the right CRM. So you want something that will incorporate all the software tools and integrate with AI. Go high level. There's nothing even close to it. Guys, are you paying separately for like your e-signs? All included in your X Leads account. So I want to maximize, obviously, myself, my software to get the best value, get all the tools. I like to get one price, get everything done. And then the final part is the AI integration. Can I work it in my current CRM, my current list pulling thing? And I want to go in one place, because there was a time when I used to have 10 or 12 screens open. It's just frustrating. Actually, I was paying about $1,200 to $1,500 a month just in software expense. That's one of the reasons X Leads, we consolidated the whole thing. It's getting better and better with each series we do with it. So we have just you. We do software, we do AI, and stage 4, as you simply will guess, We take stage 1, 2, and 3, put them together, and then we're going to add employees. And that's when you know you've really made it in wholesaling, because you have more leads and you know what to do with it. They're spilling over your plate and you need help to work them. Now, software and AI can fill your pipeline, but eventually you're going to have some human interaction on top of you to utilize and harvest these leads. And for the longest time, I think I could do it. I thought I could do it by myself, but you can't. And the thing is, no one's going to be ever as good as you. And to hold a standard like that is unrealistic. So I'm going to teach you a few lessons when we get through it. So once again, you got software, you got AI, and then you add employees. So a robust wholesaling business uses all four. Identify which stage you're in, because it's super important to know exactly where you are, and that's what you need to do. So if we know that, now we know the implementation of the four things, the structure that's needed, basically starting from you and working its way out. Now we have to talk about the business part of it. So what are the four stages of really growing and exploding a wholesale business? Now, you all went through stage 1 through 5. We've already done that. So now we're going to talk about the 4 stages. So now before we talked about the tools and the personnel to incorporate your business. So now you can simply identify what part of the business you're in on this one. And I want you to understand. So these are 4 key ingredients that you have to listen to me. If you can't incorporate the 4 I'm going to put on there, you can't run a wholesale business. When I say business, I mean run a business to where you could walk away from a week or 2 and it runs itself. And guys, anyone who tells you, go, listen, I'm going to show you how to set up a wholesale business and you never got to work in it, it doesn't work that way. First, you have to work the business, and then you slowly have to work your way out of your business. But here's the secret. When you convert to really running it as a business, you're going to have to put more time and effort in the first 6 to 12 months, and it'll feel like you're starting all over. That's a sign that you're growing a business, because all businesses take an incredible sacrifice, incredible contributions, and most importantly, incredible amounts of commitment. So that's why I want to make sure you're entrenched in wholesaling. You're going to do it. You not only do deal 1, you do the deal 5, and we keep growing from there. So number 1, you have to have an incredible amount of volume to run a business, because if you're going to incorporate your CRMs, your software, your AI, yourself, and other employees, you're going to have at least 10 times the amount of leads you had by yourself. Do you hear me? You're going to have to find a way to jack up the volume incredibly. And this part feels like the most pressure when you run the business, because you got to feed that machine. Call it the fuel in there, call it the blood running through your veins. It needs leads. And when I say leads, you need volume. Government lists alone are not going to get you through this phase. And if you understand that, you can blow this thing up. So how do we get volume? I'm going to break that down for you. But number 1, you have to have volume. You got to put your foot on the gas. You're going to have to spend some money, and you're going to have to fill that pipeline up, because the more volume you have, the more opportunities you have. Because in the beginning, your machine's not going to be very well oiled. In fact, it's going to break down a few times. Here's the good news is, if you have an incredible amount of volume, you can make up for lost opportunity deals. Deals are going to fall apart because you don't get back to someone fast enough, or your follow-up was not that great, or you said the wrong words. Stuff happens in wholesaling, just like any other business. You actually have to expect this as you go along with it. Number 2, to get that volume, you're going to have to learn how to scale your marketing. Now, the really cool part is I'm going to go over that in detail today, because that's the key piece most people need. But you have to scale. And what do I mean by scale? You have to find tools that you can leverage. It's going to cost you some money, but when you hit that lever, what used to take you the effort to get 1 lead, now you can get 10, 20, 30, 50, or 100. And that's the key to growing a wholesale business. Because if it's just you, let's be honest, you can probably dig enough leads up for yourself, keep yourself happy, but you didn't get in the wholesaling to just get by. You want an explosive business that you can walk away that other people can run, but you're going to have to fight for it. So If we understand scaling your marketing, which I'm going to go into detail in the next section of this, don't worry, I'm not glazing over it. It's my favorite part of wholesaling. Marketing is everything. So we have to learn how to actually maximize this, because if you don't, you're going to go out and seek people and say, how can I get more wholesaling leads? And they're like, I got a PPC company. We'll show you how to do it. Just give us 10 grand a month plus the advertising costs. And you're just like, is that a good return? Well, you don't know because you haven't done enough marketing. I'm going to show you how to go through the scaling and show you the order, the sequence you should most likely do to maximize your success. And starting out with PPC is not the one I'm going to tell you what to do, because you're going to have to hire an agency to do it, because very few of us have the experience to do pay-per-click. And there is a steep, sharp learning curve. And if you're learning wholesaling, you can't learn PPC at the same time. So let me show you the order to get it in. So number 2, scaling. Number 3, this was probably the toughest one for me, is you're going to have to learn delegation. You're going to have to trust other people to run segments of your business, and you're going to have to give them a leash long enough to make major mistakes. And by the way, every employee I've ever hired has made major mistakes. And I used to wig out and freak out and try to take over total control. And I'm to the point now, it probably took me about 2 years to accept this, because I used my old wholesaling personality to monetize and scale my new wholesaling business, and it didn't work. I can't do everything. You guys realize you can't do everything. And I guarantee you didn't get into wholesaling to do everything. I promise you, when you run your wholesale business and you have employees working for you, somebody's out there either screwing up a contract, screwing up a list, or saying the wrong thing to a seller. That's it. And here's what I learned with delegation. You're never going to find a mini-me of you. And that's what you're all looking for. And that's the problem. And I want to show you what you actually need to look for, because it ain't you. You're trying to replace yourself. You're going to replace yourself with most likely 4 employees. So why do you think one person is going to have all these skill sets to replace you? That's a wish list. And if you could truly find that person out there, they would take half your business. Ask me how I know. Like, my son is my business partner, but he more than doubles my business. So I'm perfectly fine with it. But I've had other business partners that don't carry their end of the weight. And you're like, wait a minute, you're collecting half the money. I'm doing most of the work. You're not doing what you committed to doing. And that's the problem that you have with delegation. So you're going to have to trust people. You're going to have to create SOPs, standard operating procedures, and you're going to have to give them the time to execute, make mistakes, learn from it, and grow. But a lot of you think you just hire people and it's magically going to fix your business, and then you can go off to Tahiti and drink little drinks with little umbrellas in it. And I'm telling you, it never works out that way. I know every seminar tries to sell you on that. It's just not the truth of the matter. So delegation. Now, the last one, super, super, super important. And there's no way to grow a wholesaling business without incorporating this. Guys, it's simply confidence. Your abilities to lead others. And this is going to take experience. This is why you don't start out day one hiring 5 employees. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have the confidence. You don't have the experience. And you're going to have to go cut your teeth on it somewhere. Oh, wait a minute, Rick. This guy or gal is going to show me exactly how to do it. Great. Make sure they're your business partner, because they're going to have to be in your business every day for at least the next year or two. And most people train you. They'll take your money. They'll do it. Their intentions are good, but they're trying to get volume just like you're trying to get volume. So the best experience, you can go out and do wholesale deals. So many of you people want to skip the wholesale journey and just go straight to doing 100, 200, 300 deals a month. It's really hard to do, because if you don't know every aspect and facet of wholesaling, people are going to take massive advantage of you. They are. I already know this for a fact. A lot of you guys hire cold calling services, never made one cold call in your life, and you want to know why they're not getting results. You guys hire PPC experts that really don't even understand what wholesaling is. You guys hire Facebook ad leads. Like, Facebook's one of the roughest places to go for wholesale leads. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I would never start out doing that. And Facebook's wildly expensive. It's right up there with Google. Like, look at their pricing on advertising. So confidence comes with experience, and it comes from leading others to create the same success as you have. But you've got to understand, man, you got to earn it. No one's just going to give it to you. You have to walk it, talk it, do it, and then train it to others. And so many people want to skip that line and just train others. And it's really, really hard. Do you want to take any type of advice from someone that's never ran a business? It's brutal. And you have to understand that. So what I want to do now is just walk through. What I want to do is walk through basically the 3 phases of wholesaling and show you how the scaling, how it would look, even if you're doing deal 1 through 5, show you where the opportunities are and the stuff that you're going to delegate, the stuff that you're going to do yourself, and I'll show you the time breakdown for everything we do on it. So if you got any comments, put it in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up my link here. If somebody wants to hop on a one-on-one, if we have some time, we'll hop on that, and we'll go from there. So now that we've walked through the tools, the type of personnel it takes, and guys, people always ask me, go, hey, Rick, what's the timeline for that? I don't know. What market you in? How much time are you working on this business? Are you running other businesses? We're all very different as human beings. So for me to say you're going to do what this guy does in this market or what she does in that market, I don't know. But if you go out and work it and you commit to a consistent plan and you give it all your energy, the time will give you the answer. But you're going to have to put it in. Everybody wants an answer before they do the action. And the reality in wholesaling, you have to do the action and then you will get the result. Because either you're going to get a success or you're going to get a lesson. Your teacher used to call it a failure. That's how you learn. So many people are so scared to fail at anything. It's ridiculous. So, okay. So let's talk about the 3 phases of wholesaling and show you how to integrate this in your wholesaling business when it comes to scaling. Now, I know my title seems a little out there. I've been doing this 23 years. What you don't see is 7 years of 70 to 80 hours per week, 7 days a week. I'm not making this up. You can ask my son, even though he was only 3 at the time. You can ask my wife, my daughter at the time. I lived, eat, and breathed wholesaling. It was actually an affliction. So I've earned my time to do 10 hours a week. Now, the funny thing is, do I only work 10 hours a week? That's BS. I'm telling you, in my wholesaling business, I put 10 hours a week. I've been doing this 23 years, and you can get to that point. It will not happen overnight. This is not a get-a-rich-quick scheme. But 23 years, I waited way too long to do this. How long is it? So here's the question, Rick, how long does it take to get 10 hours? Honestly, you're going to have 4 to 5 years minimum in your business, minimum. And that would be an exceptional person. I just tell you the truth. But what if I take you from 40 to 60 hours a week down to 35, and then the 32, then the 30? That's how it works. It's a slow progression. Why? Because you get so good at a skill set, you add on another one, and then once you have it memorized, it's like riding a bike. It's not like you got to go back and train yourself to ride the bike every time. Once you understand the fundamentals of wholesaling, you just got to stay up to date on the latest AI software and any current legislation to make sure everything you're doing as wholesaling is completely applicable and legal. So let's do this. So phase 1, marketing. I'm going to tell you, this is where a bulk of your energy is still going to be. I've always told you, marketing is everything. Now, don't take my 10 hours and try to extrapolate what you're going to do. That is your goal to get to that. You're going to have to spend 10 hours minimum, even with employees running a wholesale business. And to be honest with you, some weeks are much, much longer. I'm just going to be honest. But I can leave 2 weeks and let my employees run the business. I still have to answer emails. I still have to do texts. I have to do an occasional urgent phone call. That's the obligation of owning a business. It never goes away. but you get all the perks of everything else when doing it. So the idea is I'm trying to get you where you're not chained to the desk every minute of every day. And then the worst part is when you take a vacation, the leads stop, the appointments stop, the contract stop, and the money stops in the bank account. Because that is the biggest problem most wholesalers struggle with in the beginning. And they either avoid taking vacations, or they stress out terribly during vacations. I remember once, I think year 4 or 5, I took the whole family on a cruise, and I was just freaking out. I'm getting texts all the time. If you know how internet works on cruise ships, here's the bottom line. I don't care what package you buy, it sucks. Nothing ever comes on time. You have to wait to get in a port. It was probably the most 7 stressful days of my wholesale career, because deals were falling apart left and right. Nobody was really running the business. And I thought I had somebody covering it, but that was a wish. And I don't want that on anyone. So marketing is where you're always going to spend a majority of your wholesaling skill activity. That and talking to sellers. That is what we're going to spend a majority of our time on. So when we pull up the first one on marketing, it's you. So if you're at the point of scaling your business, you have to be in charge of the list. Why? Because I need people to produce for me. I need to get deals. So you better get your absolute best list. I don't care if you get it from X Leads, PropStream, or whatever it is. Just get the best list. Get your government list. Go to freewholesaling.com. Find out the best list. There's over 12 different lists that we worked actively, and you've got to fill your pipeline up with it. So if you have a crappy list, it doesn't matter what you do with the rest of the operations, it's going to fall apart. Now, here's the good news. You should be somewhat of an expert by this point, because you've already mastered your business and you found 5 deals. And don't go too far from where you found those deals to mimic the exact same success. We just have to find a way to get bigger amounts of volume, and we have to do scaling. So you're going to have your list, and then you're going to have your marketing medium. This is just the vessel we deliver our message to our motivated sellers. And the most important one I put on here is a marketing action plan. Most of you guys don't do it, and I know it. I know it for a fact because I ask it all the time. When I did my other program, I put in a marketing action worksheet. I think less than 10% of the people ever filled it out. Now, I get it. It's overwhelming and it seems daunting. But if you don't have a plan, I mean, you don't have a budget, you don't have a time frame, how often you're going to send out whatever marketing messages you have, and you can't track and quantify it, it's never going to happen. You're just going to randomly throw stuff out there and see if it sticks. So you got to come up with a plan. And the best way to do is plan it out 1 year in advance. And then you hold your butt to the fire. If you don't do that, I already know what's going to happen. You're going to run wholesaling by feel. You're going to go between a hobby and a full-time job. And I'm not your boss. I'm not going to lean on you to send out the marketing. You don't want to send the marketing out? You don't want to make money? Then that's what you're going to get. And what we love most about wholesaling is the lowest barrier to entries. They don't care if you're a criminal. They don't care about your education. But if you don't work it in wholesaling is going to work right past you. And it's the good and the bad. It's the carrot and the stick at the same time. Everybody welcome to wholesaling. Let me see who wants to step up to the plate. It's kind of like the Squid Games of wholesaling, if you really think about it. Like, that show's just, I mean, it like hurts my head to watch that show because it removes humanity. But the reality is you have 10 wholesalers step up at freewholesaling.com. I want to see who's going to step up to the plate and actually get through the wholesale Squid Games. That's why I should sponsor wholesale Squid Games. Because you got to get, like, the biggest problem you guys have to get through is what's in your own head. So if we understand that, I'm going to spend 4 hours a week and I'm dedicating to this. Now, easier said than done. Most of you won't do the action plan because you don't understand what marketing mediums you're going to use and you don't know which list to pull. And you're like, and then you ask everybody on the internet and like either run your business or your business will run you. And this is why most people don't run a wholesaling business because they can't figure out the marketing. The marketing is everything. In every business, if you don't know how to market, you can have the greatest product in the world. If nobody knows about it, it's never going to get customers. So I know some of you have been told, oh yeah, don't worry about the marketing. You can just do these like online leads, PPC, PPL. You're going to be owned by someone, man. Like I've yet to meet one wholesaler that exclusively runs their deals on PPL and maybe PPC. I've heard about one hit wonders all day long, but show me someone's 10 years consistently done it. Actually, just give me 5 years. I'm sure there's exceptions out there, but you'll find the people that do that have such a highly specialized skill that they figured it out because they probably put in time and dedication to it. PPC and PPL is not one hit wonders, and it's not for the rookie investor, and you have to understand that. So, who's going to do it? Let me ask you, everybody kind of watching this, who actually has a marketing plan? Who's brave enough to say yes or no? Don't worry, I won't make you flash it up there. But I already know, I've known through years of this, everybody asks, I go, hey, what's your marketing plan? Usually they recite it from the top of their head. And if you're doing that, you're not running a wholesaling business. So if you're doing that, I want you to first recognize it, admit it, and then implement a change to get it out of your head and get it on paper so you can execute. My recommendation is put it on a Google spreadsheet and look at it every day. So if you ever want to lose weight, it's simple. It's simple 3 columns. You put the date, and then you can measure it every day. Your weight, that's not a good way because you can manipulate it. But like every Saturday at 5 p.m., you weigh yourself. And then you have 52 Saturdays. And you just map it out. And then from there, you keep going until you hit your target weight. And then you can basically draw a graph on it off of an Excel spreadsheet. And it's very visually motivating when you do it. But the problem is if you go, my weight's off today, off this Saturday. And then you skip next Saturday because you don't want to deal with the confrontation that you might have gained weight because you ate something you should have. And then it just becomes a snowball. And you're going to have off weeks, but you've got to put the data in. And that's how you hold yourself accountable. But the truth is we don't want to hold ourselves accountable. That's why we want to do it. But we say we want a wholesaling business. Start with a marketing action plan. If you don't do it, it's never going to happen. And you can make it as simple and as complicated as you want. What are your marketing lists? How many leads do you, how many pulls do you need a month? What is your marketing median? And what is your budget? And what goals are you trying to hit for the month? How many calls are you trying to make? What's the total spend you're going to do on it? And work through it. And some of you are going to overshoot it. You're going to have lofty goals. And then you're going to find out the real work that goes in it. That's how you learn wholesaling. I had somebody the other guys, I'm going to make 32,000 cold calls. I go, in a month? Like all by yourself with a single dialer? I go, you better get started now because you're going to have to go like 24/7. And I can already tell you didn't think it through. So by doing that marketing action plan, you can answer a lot of questions. And I can almost help out anyone's business. But if I don't have a marketing action plan, I already know what the problem is. You got everything going on in your head. And you're not treating it like a business. You treat it like a hobby. You treat it like a full-time job. And me and Zach are not your boss. I'm here to help you, guide you, maybe motivate you, but I'm not a motivational speaker. If you're not going to do the work, I'm going to go find people that actually want to do the work. And that's one of the key ingredients when it comes, because when you start running a business, your obligations go way up. And you have to hang in there for that payday to get through the pain because I'm going to be honest with you, it sucks at first. It's a lot of work. But if you truly want to run a business, that's how it works. Think about McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Disney, Apple, Tesla. They all had to go through the exact same pain. So why do you think you're immune to it? You're not. You have to go through it. Everybody has to figure this out. And why I like Google Docs, I don't have to download it. I don't have to save it. If you want to share it and you want to have an accountability partner, bingo. That's what you guys could find accountability partners, share the same sheets and you adapt it. And my key to success on the sheets is keep the KPI simple. 4 at max, maybe 5, depending on what type of marketing meeting you're doing. So if you do that, it's phenomenal. You have to have a marketing plan, guys. Otherwise, who's Who's carrying the boats, as David Goggins would say. So um, let's talk about why we're on marketing. Let's talk about scalability. Let's just walk through this. I'm going to walk you through the order in which you should scale your business. Now, the first two, you can debate them depending on your preference. The easiest and the most transparent one, the fastest, the lower cost to entry is typically going to be cold calling. And with an X Leads account where you get unlimited, you get the free skip tracing with it, 15,000 leads. You got more than enough room to run. You know what the costs are. My recommendation is start out with yourself. And then if you can bring other people in to help you out, that's the best way to do it. Now, the problem with cold calling is when you scale it, I'm not going to lie to you, it can get quite expensive. And if you don't have the experience talking to sellers and you don't know what KPIs to ask for, like how many connections are you making? What is your connection rate within a 1 hour period? How many appointments are you setting? You're doing virtually local, and how many contracts you get. There's a lot of variables that go into this, and nothing can replace experience. Now, I'm going to warn you, there's so many gurus out there that sell you on their cold calling center. You're just paying for their marketing when they do that, just so you know. I've never seen one last. Rarely do they stay in business for too long, and that drives me crazy. So if you do have some cold call skills, you can go out, recruit cold callers. There's plenty of techniques out there to do it. I didn't invent the wheel on this. I know I use them in my business. It is a lot of workload, keeping up with the KPIs, keeping all the VAs paid, and keeping that pipeline full of leads so they can connect with them with the marketing medium. So the next one is going to be SMS. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, SMS texting, my absolutely favorite scalable one. I know there's limitations with A2P and all that fun stuff. At XLeads, we walk you through, we give you an A2P compliant website. You have to follow the instructions, but if you can get through this A2P process, I've yet to find a more efficient way to deliver someone a message. In fact, in 2016, when my son taught me I could just push a button, drop 1,000 texts, and get 15, 20 motivated seller leads, I was in shock because it didn't require a lot of employees. And I'm telling you, I quickly blew up my business through SMS. It was the most efficient, the fastest, and the most scalable event that a one-person wholesaler could do. In fact, I got buried in leads. Now, have things changed? Yes. Carriers are much stricter. They have the A2P, and you have to be very cognizant of your opt-out rate and how you use opt-out language. Here's the good news at freewholesaling.com. We teach you how to do all that language and how to structure it so you can win. But you're going to have to invest in yourself, and you're going to have to learn, and you're going to have to run it like a business. Now, it's very, very cost effective, but there is a learning curve you have to learn. And the thing is, this thing's fluid. So the more people spam, the more challenges we have. So we're learning how to use AI to help us manage SMS, because honestly, SMS without AI is really hard. It's challenging because if you send out a couple thousand leads, you got to use AI to tickle the ones that actually want to work with you. Because if you had to do it all by yourself, it would be exhausting. So remember, we're using software and AI before we hire employees. This is a key part of it. This is why I'm working down the metrics of how you scale your business. Now, once you got those two up and running for your marketing scalability, phase 3 is a guaranteed the best way to scale your business. It's direct mail. Why do I say direct mail? Number one, it's 100% legal. You have zero compliancy issues. You can't go to jail for sending people a piece of mail, even though they'll tell you otherwise. Now, you're going to get plenty of haters. You're going to get rejected. Welcome to wholesaling. What did you expect? Did you expect everybody to say yes? Very few people will say yes. Get used to it. So direct mail, my favorite part about it, it lets me target I can target a demographic. I can target a geographic area. I can target a certain type of house. It's very, very laser specific. It's dynamite for local investing for wholesaling. It's as good, even better for virtual wholesaling. And that's the part that's super, super sexy about direct mail. Now, what's my average return on direct mail? I get about an 8 times return. Now, I teach you how to start out with direct mail. Go to mailingmastery.com and I'll show you how to get a 2 times return. If you guys went to Vegas, put down $1,000 and then you get 2,000 back, you'd be very happy with that return. I start you off gradually and show you how to work up. And we have a partnership program if you're interested in doing that. I like people who work on X leads because it's very easy to work with them and look at their data. And we have a program where we help you out. Now, I'm looking for partnerships. I'm not looking to mentor and coach people because I find partners are so much more invested and we usually make money together and makes everybody really happy. I used to charge you 10 grand like everybody else does, but like then I'm just going to treat you like a number. And that's what most of these people do. Thousands and thousands of people, and they get a few success stories. I do it the opposite. I do the success stories with you. And that's the best way to do wholesaling, in my opinion. So direct mail, I can push the button. We usually start you out with a couple grand and work your way up. Now, you can't just double your budget in direct mail because there's all sorts of problems that you get with it. You can actually outspend your leads. But this is the point where you'll fill your pipeline on what's going to force you to get other employees, because you can use AI. Hold on one second here. You could use AI, you can use software, but eventually AI software is going to get so filled up, you have to go out and get additional help. That's why we're talking about scaling your business. So direct mail, usually in 2000, most people spend under 10 grand a month. And remember, if you can turn 10 grand and multiply it by 8, would you invest 10 grand to make 80 grand all day long? Now, direct mail, they'll tell you it's slow. That's what old people do. Guys, that's where a lot of the messages go. And really for the next 10 years, it's still going to work. Now, is it expensive? It's only expensive if you don't understand how to do it. You have to look at an investment. It's a 3-month commitment. If you're going to do a one and done, don't even bother doing it. It's a waste of time. Here's a little key stat you guys want to know. You ready for this? 70 to 75% of people that do wholesaling across the country, I'm talking about the people who run it as a business, get their leads from direct mail. Don't believe me? Go ask them. Go ask the biggest hitters. Every one of them incorporate direct mail. So why do you think you're going to just get around it? Oh, just replace it with PPC, PPL. Yeah, you think direct mail is expensive? You have no idea. Now, at this point, you know how to talk to people. You can control the conversation. It is the next gradual step to scaling your marketing for wholesaling. And this is why I love it. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. But just like you do a marketing plan, we're going to build one out custom just for direct mail. And I'm going to hold your stick to the fire if you partner with me. I will show you, because you can only do so much for driving for dollars. You can only do so much reverse driving for dollars. And you can only pull so many government lists before you just start to drive yourself nuts. So I want you to utilize direct mail. It works really well. I've never found a market it doesn't work in. There are some markets it's not the greatest for, but it's compliant, it's legal, it works. And I average an 8 times return. And I've been doing it for 21 years. In fact, I feel naked if I don't invest in direct mail. So I want you to think about that. Now, your next one, which you're going to think is a little bit out there, PPL. Now, I'm not crazy. I don't think you should ever use a PPL company where you have to do an open bid. That's just not wholesaling. Wholesalers do not pay market price for anything. I negotiate everything. This is why you guys get such amazing deals at X Leads, because I practice what I preach. So does Zach. And we're working on things with PPL. I'm just not into the open bid leads. Now, if we could get them to take a discount and build it into our program, I would love to do it. If you guys have any contacts for me, we're just not quite there. But I've watched people get deals off PPL. I've had 2 PPLs referred to me that I've done by secondhand with a JV. I'm not a PPL expert. The difference with PPL, it's super convenient. But I'm going to give you a caveat. It should never replace your marketing. If your entire business is built on PPL, you're not in control of your business. Remember, he or she that controls marketing rules wholesaling. So if I'm willing to split a deal with you and give you 50%, that shows you the value of the lead. And PPL companies know that, and that's why they treat us like an open bidding. Like, I don't believe in spending $300-400 for one lead. You guys, that's like gambling and going to Vegas. Now, if you could get 20 or 30 for an affordable price, that warrants it. But here's the caveat: you have to have experience, you have to have at least 5 deals closed, and you've got to be very comfortable in every situation talking to distressed sellers. Now, the other caveat for wholesaling with PPL is these people are less interested in a relationship with you, which sucks. And don't think they just filled out that one form. They fill out a lot of forms online. You're going to have to find a way to try to connect with them. You will not nearly have the success rate you do as you do with it personally. And off-market leads direct to seller that needs to sell. In fact, a lot of PPL people will waste your time. And so as the marketers get more and more aggressive to get these leads, it is a viable source. I cannot condone PPC because it's extremely expensive. You're not in control of anything, and you are going to have to make a 1-year commitment to even have the slightest chance at it. Now, I'm not a PPC expert, but I've yet to see anyone shows me any data that supports it. So if you have a partner that specializes in PPC, knock them out. If you got a relationship with a PPL company where you can get 20 or 30 leads for a reasonable cost, that's fine. But I'm not going to let you go out and get PPL leads and have to bid on them. You're an idiot if you do that. I'm sorry. PPL companies have great quality leads. The question is, do they want to own you or do they want to work with you? And don't get me wrong, what they do is very hard. It's very unpredictable. You have no idea what they have to spend. But I refuse to participate in a bidding process. If I'm going to do bidding, I might as well just go buy foreclosures off the courthouse auction online because it's the same process. And here's a little reality. It's like eBay. You think the owners bid their own? They do it all the time. I've watched people do it. They show me how they do it. Why would I trust a PPL person that's a professional in marketing to do online bidding? Now, they have the right to do it. I'm not even blaming them for it. But until you guys start taking that power away, you're at the mercy of those companies. So find a company that will give a discount for deals and give you 20, 30 leads. I'm all for it. Just make sure you track your results. Why? Because I get more and more PPL deals referred to me. And honestly, it takes a good 15, 20 leads to have a shot at it. So to buy one for $300 or $400 and cross your fingers and you bid it up to that and see if it's going to work, you're just going to get wildly disappointed. But if you can add 20, 30% of your deal flow from PPL from an affordable source, when I find it, I'll let you guys know. I'm wide open to it. But I'm not a big fan of the wide open bid. It just doesn't, it goes against everything we do in wholesaling. And if you guys keep doing the wide open bid, you're just going to keep pushing the price up to the point. And the biggest challenge with PPL and PPC is your return on your investment. Now, your return on your time, absolutely wonderful. Nobody debates that. But if I spend 20 grand to get one $10,000 deal, it's a terrible ROI. And this is why you see such delusion of people showing you ROIs on PPLs and PPC, because very people can show it. Everybody can get a deal from it. The question is, how many deals did you have to buy? How many leads before you converted it into getting a contract? And I've yet to have a PPL company really tell me on that. So from my data, from the people that I've networked with it and the few deals I've done in there, 15, 20, maybe 25 get you one good wholesale deal. Now, keep in mind, I don't think they're nearly as profitable as your off-market stuff we teach you to do direct with the government list. They're not nearly as profitable as direct mail. It's just faster and you get a return on your time. And for that reason, it does bode some attention to. Just don't build your entire marketing off of it. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. Let's see. Okay, so now that we know how to do the scaling, every one of these I just showed you, cold calling, SMS, direct mail, PPL, that's what gives you the volume. So I told you you have to have volume in your business. So on the marketing side, once you do all the stuff we spoke about, you're running the list, you're picking the marketing meeting, and you're setting up the marketing action plan. You're just going to add lead generation agents. Now you start with one, and their job is to work that CRM, work the phones, work whatever, cold calling, SMS. What else we put on there? PPLs, direct mail. And their job is to find the people that want to work with you. They load them up, they get the data in, and they set it up. Now, in the beginning, they're not going to be that great. They're just there to load it up, which leads us to the next part, which is going to be acquisitions. And the biggest mistake I see people is like, I need to outsource and get an acquisitions manager. No. Don't get me wrong. We're going to get one. But I'm telling you, this is the last position you're going to hire for, because you're going to be the acquisitions manager. You know why? Because I have to put my best person on it first, because we got to get deals closed to bring money into the company so we can scale it. And so why wouldn't you put your best closer there? That should be you. You should have the most experience. Now, as your lead generation agents get better and they figure out how to talk to agents, then we incentivize them if they can actually ink a deal and get it closed, but it's going to take experience. So use them to help comb through your entire CRM, to use all the marketing medium, you implement the action plan, and you get the deals sent to you so you can connect with them either on a live call them back, get an appointment. You do it locally or virtually. You have to be the acquisitions person at first. So you're going to send your best, which is you in the beginning. So many people want to outsource the acquisitions manager. I'm just telling you, there's a huge learning curve on this, and I'm going to walk you through it. You have to invest in an acquisitions manager. In the beginning, when you start scaling your business, most of you don't understand this. They go, Rick, what do you mean by invest? And it's simple. You have to lead them. You have to take them on appointments. You have to train them. And most importantly, you have to invest in them. And in my experience, I've been through so many acquisitions managers. And honestly, I feel so sorry for the first 3 that I hired because they didn't deserve it. My inexperience, my lack of detail, assuming they could just do everything and they knew exactly how the business run, was my fault. And I want you guys to learn from this, is they're never going to be a mini you. And most of you try to hire to do that. And when I say 3 months, it's going to be 3 months till they're profitable. You're like, let me get this straight. The person that's going to go on the appointments, they're going to take, yes, 3 months. I've done this every which way. You have to invest in them. You have to take time and you have to train them. You don't believe me? Go ahead and try it. Because when they leave you, you're going to have to keep going through the cycle over and over, and you'll get tired of doing it. Now, one of the biggest questions I get, how do you pay someone who is an acquisitions manager? It's simple. They have a draw and a commission. You know what a draw is? A draw means you just get commissions early. You have to pay these people on a draw the first 3 months or they're going to leave you because they're going to suck in the beginning. So you have to understand that it is everything to get them. I'm sorry, I'm getting phone calls left and right. You have to incentivize them to stay. So my average one, I give them a $1,500 draw per month because they got to pay their basic bills. And then whenever they got a deal, we will put the commissions towards that. Now I'm going to be honest, I'll do a little trick. I usually forgive their first 3 months draw if they've completely committed and they've learned their craft. But not everybody does that, and I understand that, and you have to be aware of it. So what commission structure you give them depends. You have to have volume. They can make a ton of money with volume, but if you don't provide the volume, I don't care if you pay them 50%, there's not enough deals to happen there. Now, most people are between 10 and 15%. I've seen people as high as 25. The problem is when you push 20 and 25, you're just assuming they're going to do everything and you are going to put them in complete control of your business. And if you do that, I think it's going to be problematic for you. So, and then the last note on this, and we're going to go over to the last part of it, avoid the superstars. People who run ads saying, I'm looking for a rock star, completely committed, an A+ player. with massive sales experience, dude, that's like asking LeBron to be on your team and run your business. And not that I got a problem with LeBron, but think about this. LeBron keeps getting traded team to team. He basically dictates who the coach is. He tells what plays we're going to do. He tells you what kind of jerseys we're going to wear. And if you hire that type of diva, yeah, LeBron, I'm calling you a diva, is you're going to have the same damn problems in your business. You're better off getting someone with little to no experience. Most people go, I got to hire someone with sales experience. You got to hire someone that's got a personality and is willing to follow your lead. That is it. I don't care if they're an introvert. If they will follow the system, they'll be fine. But so many people think they can put a rock star in there. Like, let me just throw a Sammy Hagar in there, my business will explode. It's not. And if it does, they're going to hold your entire business hostage. And if you understand that, find the person that's going to consistently show up. Because hard work crushes talent every time. There are talented people that can close just about anybody, but I've had them in my business. They will choke your business out. They won't show up when you need them to, and then they'll eventually try to compete with you or tell you they'll do other things. They'll fail, don't get me wrong. But to try to avoid that person up front, find someone that you can invest in to go, man, I can deal with this person, but they've got to follow your lead. And remember, stop telling people what to do and show people what to do, and it makes a tremendous difference. So I don't like the superstar. I've watched for the last 10 years where all these wholesalers, they all copy their ad. I'm looking for a rock star. You're looking for a unicorn. They don't exist. If they did, they'd run their own business. Find someone that's motivated, that wants to work for money, that wants a career path. Don't try to replace you. It's never going to work. Now, when we move on to dispositions, this is the easiest part, as I always tell you, wholesaling. I always look for former realtors or retired realtors because they just understand how to move property. Now, here's the catch. I want to find one that understands and loves wholesaling, which is a rarity. That is a little bit of a unicorn. They don't have to love it. They just got to love liquidating property to cash buyers. Most realtors are geared towards people that get financing. You got to find someone that loves dealing with cash buyers, loves to build a database of cash buyer, and gets excited selling that. Now, these people don't work full-time in your business. They get compensated per deal that they get sold. And that's why they're easy, because they don't require a lot of management. Now, they will require some training and some format basically on your forms and your procedural. So you're going to give them what we call an SOP, a standard operating procedure. And they're going to focus on selling your wholesale deals and your wholesale deals. And I will tell you this, my favorite part, they're actively going to work your cash buyers list. This is what I make my dispo people do. Do I rely on them? But I pay them more if they go out and find their own leads in the system. So if they derive their own lead, they get a little bit of a perk, which incentivizes them to help you build a cash buyers list, because it does take a lot of energy to do. Now, my favorite part is basically a great dispositions person removes the drama from a wholesale deal and understands speed to sell. So if I only got 2 weeks to get it sold, we got to have an active cash buyers list. You got to get it sold. A regular realtor that does conventional financing, FHA, VA, they're used to 60, 75-day closes. Our deals are typically 2 to 3 weeks at best. 30 days is like forever in my business. Those are more long-term deals. And then they understand the difference between a wholesale is 90 days or less, and a wholesale deal is usually 3 weeks or less. Speed is everything. Speed, you have to be set up, you have to be programmed, you have to be ready to go. And you're going to have to teach speed to them, because that's the one thing all wholesalers need. When we have great deals, we have to commit harder, we have to close faster, and we have to have cash buyers queued up and ready to go. So why would it be any differently with that? So guys, let's go over and answer some comments, see if we can do some lives here. And so I see a lot of questions on the X leads and stuff like that. So Here's the one guarantee I give you guys. If you're already in X leads, I'm not going to change one thing on you. I'm just going to give you more. That's my commitment to you. It's all about loyalty. I'm fine with it. If you guys were waiting on the fence, it's okay too. You won't die. I'm not going to tell you got to run out and get X leads, but if you want like a guarantee, if you buy it now for what it's set for, I won't change anything. Now, last time we went through this, you guys thought me and Zach were like doing a hype up thing. I don't do that. I'm not the guy who says there's only 4 seats left. That's a coaching seminar that you go to, that there's people that go around, that's all they teach you. They teach you about scarcity. I have a different motivating factor to get you in X leads. I actually want to make you a great wholesaler. I believe it is the best, the absolute best software you can buy out there, the best bang for your buck, and it is created by wholesalers, period. End of story. Can't stress that enough for you. So excuse me if I do push you guys along to do it, because I believe it is the best bang for your buck. And I promise you, I will not disappoint you on Thursday. You guys know how me and Zach bring it. We're here to help the wholesaling community out, period. I'm not here to help coaches and gurus. They're not bad people, but I'm out here for you guys. And if me and Zach weren't in wholesaling, I would be fearful where you guys would be left. You would be surrounded by coaches. Software would be jacking up around $200 a month, and you would be stuck. And I'm talking about basic plans. It's just the truth, and you have to understand that. So that's the guarantee I make to you. But like, honestly, don't buy it because you think the price is going to go up or down. Buy it because it's going to make you a better wholesaler. That's the real reason. Don't buy things just based on price. It's kind of nice to know what you're going to. But if you're going to do this business seriously and you've looked at the X Lead software, then just go ahead and like buy it now. It's the right thing to do. And I don't charge you $5,000 and $10,000 upgrade packages, so it's never going to be. It's there for you, man. So I push X leads out of urgency to make you guys better wholesalers. End of story. That's why I do it. And I want you to understand that. So look at Brandon doing JV deals here. He's in school. He'll work with you. He's in the Discord. He understands how to work it. And that's what I want you guys to do. That's another way to scale your business. A whole nother one. I didn't even throw that one out there yet. So I gave you the traditional ways. So Brian, I love that you want to see 10 grand in your bank account, but you got to be hooked before that, because you're going to have to do the actions to make that happen. And you can't have a wait and see attitude. I know that's your desire, but just go through it. You're going to have to X amount of cold calls, X amount of text, X amount of reverse driving for dollars. Just get out there and do it, because if you do the actions, the money will come. But the problem is, if you hang, I go, well, I didn't get my first 10 grand yet. I don't know if I want to do those 300 cold calls today. And then you wane and you have to take the opposite approach. You have to do the action. You have to go through the pain to get the desired result. And if you flip that around backwards, I think you'll have better success with it. But I understand. I hear you. Here's a good one. Audrey says in Texas, going to a sub, I assume it means subject to, but they have a solar. Now, this is extremely common. We'll be taking over solar. How would you word that? Here's the problem with solar. A lot of people come from solar, go into wholesaling. Now, what people like about solar, which you can't knock their businesses, they look to hire really good salespeople, and they have some very thorough training programs. And the incentive is they get paid a crap load of money to get a solar sale. Now, keep in mind, solar is not a necessity for anyone in the United States unless you're some remote place in the hills. It's a luxury. Now, I've bought a lot of solar products, 6 figures worth of them, about 180 grand. I've run an entire house off the grid. You'd be shocked how much it takes, how much money it takes to do that. So most people are fine with getting their electric bill and making that happen. So here's where the reason why people buy these solar packages, just like you're seeing Audrey, is because the pitch sounds so good. And it sounds just like this. Say, listen, Rick, I tell you, how much you paying on your electrical? $400 a month. Does that just piss you off? Yeah. Well, what if I could go and put solar panels on your roof? You'll get that direct Florida sunshine. And basically, we'll have that pay for itself, and you can sell the energy back to the electric company. Sound good? Yeah. How much is it? Here's the good news. It doesn't cost you a dime up front. You just got to sign this paperwork here, and I'll handle the rest for you. Now, what they're signing is a lien against their property. And when they go to sell the property, then they got another 30, 40, 50, as much as 100 grand on it, especially if it's Tesla. That's the problem, is people, they're selling it without ever really getting a check from anyone, maybe $100 or something like that. And then they buy a $40,000 or $50,000 thing. And then here's the sales line that this is the biggest lie you're going to hear. It's going to increase the value of your house by like 10 or 15%. It does not. It actually hurts the value of your house. Now, I put $150,000 in one of these into my house. It made it sell faster. I didn't get the money back out of it. Now, I needed it for a specific application to run a very high-end, complicated ecosystem for raising coral, and it can't afford to go 5 minutes without power. So the only way I could do it was with solar power and the Powerwall batteries. But I could afford to do it. But the average person, that's the last thing they should be getting for their house. Because when they go to sell it, unless they wait 10 or 15 years, they're never getting their money back on it. And the problem is you can't get rid of it. Now, here's what you can check, Audrey. You can see if it transfers with the house. A lot of them will transfer. You got to ask for permission. But when you hear this, it usually kills the sale. I'm just being brutally honest. And there's no way to get around it. So because it's no cost, they put such clause in you on the lien on the house, it's problematic. And I lose a lot of deals to solar in Florida. I know Texas, so you go to the sunny states, it's a pain in the butt because basically these people have already stripped them of their equity in their house. But they go after us wholesalers that we strip people's equity. I can't strip equity when you just signed a 40,000 solar thing and you say you don't have a dime to your name. They all get hooked on. It doesn't cost me any money. You're going to lower your electric bill and your house will be worth 10 to 15% more. Now, it will lower the electric bill. I'll give them that. But it's going to take you about 8 to 9 years before you get your money back on it. And that's the part that will drive you nuts. So, look at all the X Leads comments here. Can't wait for the update. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to X Leads. Solid so far. So let me put this guys up here for you so you guys know exactly when it is. First of all, make sure you go over to freewholesaling.com. That is where you'll get all our information. Everything I've actually talked about today is in there. We show you the right way to scale and grow your wholesaling business. And the launch is going to be the 14th, 5 p.m. Eastern. And it will be on the Flip with Rick channel. I'll have it on here. We'll have it on the Zach Ginn channel. And I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed. I mean, I can't believe what we're about to offer. It's insane. So remember, I want you to buy X Leads because it's going to make you a better wholesaler. Because you're tired of everybody else giving you all these different prices, have all these different charges on your credit card. If you go to one place to get all your marketing needs, all your skip trace needs, all your CRM needs, all your list stacking needs, all your dispo leads, all your e-signing contracts, and to easily find cash buyers in your neighborhood, I can't imagine another software they'll do for you. And remember, you get Go High Level included with you. And here's the best part is we put in all the workflows, everything you need for a wholesaler. So you don't have to go out and get everything customized. We do everything for you. And we have some really, really cool stuff. We've listened to you guys very carefully over the last year, and we've given you the changes you've asked for. So tune in Thursday. You'll see everything in there, and I promise you'll be happy. And guys, remember, if you get the X plan, which is the most advanced package, and that's when we talk about growing a wholesaling business, is you get 2 free live events a year where you come out. We don't even charge you for it, and you spend 2 days with me and Zach on our staff. And we go through, we teach you about the software, but more importantly, we connect, we have fun, and we can go in your business and help you out. Because if you understand X Leads, We understand X leads. We can show you how to navigate. We can show you how to put a marketing plan together. We can show you how to implement SMS, show you how to implement cold calling, do a PPL program, how to use a JV. You can do it all within the X leads. It's unbelievable what you can do. So guys, if you haven't had a chance, check it out, xleads.com. I promise you won't be disappointed. You'll be very, very happy with it. That'll be on Thursday. We'll be on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Flip with Rick channel. Check us out there. And guys, hey, listen, if you got value from the day, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video with someone that's truly looking to wholesaling, wants to grow and scale their business, and they're tired of all the fluff, all the hype of all these coaching programs. Why don't you connect with real wholesalers who will actually JV with you, and they want to run the marathon. They don't want to do the sprint. Sprinters take the coaching money. Marathon people partner up with you. They teach you a skill set, and then they show you how to work together as partners so you both profit together. If you're interested in that, join us, sellmypaper.com. Send us deals there. We use AI to filter through the leads, but that's the best way to connect with me and Zach. But I don't care if you're doing the X plan, you're doing X leads, do sellmypaper.com. Jump on our live streams. Get active, guys, because you and only you are in charge of your wholesaling career. I wanted to make it the best. Let's do this together. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. See you.